Ooh, spooky.
Spooky season is upon us. Wow. You got anything else?
Boo!
Oh my goodness.
Wow, you're so scary. Welcome to Wait You're Mad Halloween edition.
And today we have a special guest.
A very special guest.
My name is Jayci.
And who are you, Jayci, in relation to the podcast?
Lexie is my special aunt.
Oh, I'm special. I love that. Do you listen to the podcast ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, what episode's your favorite?
There's one when you guys have a guy with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we talked about music. Did you think Adam was funny?
That's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny. Are you excited to be on the show?
Yes, we're literally gonna talk about stuff.
We're going to talk about stuff right now. Thank you for the glorious introduction.
We'll get right to it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So today we're talking about all things Halloween.
Yes, we're going to talk about this year's popular costume predictions. And also we have a special interview with a Halloween holiday expert, Jayci, who you've met.
Jayci, what makes you a Halloween expert?
Very good at knocking on doors.
That is a great skill to have, I would say. So, needless to say, how are you celebrating Halloween this year, Jayci?
So, I'm probably gonna go to 4 more pumpkin patches.
4?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you have a lot around where you live?
Probably. I don't know.
You just get taken. You don't drive, right? You're not driving yet.
I'm just 6, not 16.
Oh, wow.
My mistake.
Get it right, get it tight, Mad Dog.
If you can dress up for anything for Halloween, what would you pick? Or do you already have your costume chosen for this year?
I don't. Mine would be either a unicorn, a squishmallow, or a hot dog.
Oh, wow. Quite the assortment. Give me a little brief on why you're interested in each of those.
So the squishmallow, I saw it up in Dubuque at Target. It's like a squishmallow you can wear. And then why I would want to be a hot dog is because I like funny costumes.
That's
okay.
The ultimate funny.
What's funny about a hot dog?
It's just a funny costume you can wear. It's like you can wear it. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like ironic.
Okay. Yeah.
And the unicorn. And that's if you're going like the stylish, pretty girly way. You got a big decision to make.
Yeah. So those are all very great options. Have you ever wanted to be something for Halloween, but your parents said no?
Last year, I had to tell the story. Oh.
Yeah, tell the story.
Last year, I wanted to be a poop emoji.
A poop emoji. And your parents said no?
Well, we couldn't find anything, and I said no then, and then all that went on to that, and all that went on to that.
So
the whole thing.
It didn't work out. You could not find a poop emoji outfit, but it sounds like your mom tried. So you told us what you're going to be for Halloween. What do you think other kids your age are going to be for Halloween? What are the most popular costumes going to be?
Witches.
A lot of witches.
Witches. Cool. Anything else?
What were you going to say if you had to answer the question?
Wow.
Ooh.
What a good host. Reversing it back on me. Kids, I bet someone will be Bluey. What were you last year? You were Peppa Pig, correct?
No, not correct.
What were you?
I was Baby Shark, and then I was Skeleton.
I want your mom back in the room. I think you're lying.
It's her interview.
It's true. I guess you can say whatever you want to the public.
This is her persona now. It's fine.
So, Jayci, what's your favorite part of trick-or-treating?
The candy and the fun and the running and the...
Eating candy?
Yeah.
And using your skills, like you said, you're very good at knocking on doors. So that really comes in handy when you trick or treat. What makes a good door knocker?
I have very good, knuckles.
You have very good knuckles?
Yeah.
Probably a very swift wrist?
I eat lots of seaweed.
Wow, a lot of iodine in the system.
Wow. Okay, but let's think about movies maybe. Is there a favorite monster in a movie?
The scariest movies? Alright, I don't like The Lion King. That scares me. And Chucky scares me.
Ooh, Chucky is a good one. That's a good movie. The Bride of Chucky is one of my favorite Halloween movies.
I've never seen that, but I have seen The Lion King, and man, Scar is pretty scary. The scary lion.
How many Disney movies does a parent die in, though? That was pretty traumatizing to go through as a kid.
Don't scare me, guys.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Trigger warning.
Okay, Chucky's a great answer. So is The Lion King, I guess. Jayci, do you do anything at school for Halloween?
We do. Alright, you have to bring canned goods.
What? Tell us more.
You have to bring goods to dress up to black and orange for Halloween. To dress up on Halloween.
Oh.
You have to bring canned goods in.
So to
Jayci,
wear orange and black, you have to bring canned goods in. So do you go to a...
She goes to a private school.
Private school. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a treat to not have to wear the uniform.
She's basically paying her dues to not wear the uniform, yes.
You got to bring canned goods.
At least it's for a good cause, right?
Maybe I should also send the video of you when I put you in your high chair and I said, do not eat this candy.
Ooh, I remember that one. She put
Like
a bunch of candies out. Lindsay walked away and Jayci literally went
This is not the point.
and stuffed her cheeks with candy faster than Lindsay could even leave the room.
Oh my gosh.
Mom, this is why I didn't want you in here. This is not the point of the podcast. The point of the podcast is Halloween. Otherwise, I'm gonna send you a message that says you smell like slime.
Damn.
Wow. I bet she's bowing down to you right now. Jayci, I have some silly questions for you. Are you ready? Would you rather have a pet ghost or a pet zombie?
A pet ghost like my invisible friend Tina.
Oh, that's a great story. Jayci, can you tell me about your ghost friends you had when you were younger?
Oh, I've been having them since I was a zero baby.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, I don't remember the ones when I was little, but right now I have Tina. She's my big invisible friend. She's keeping eyes on me right now. Tina, Lexie, what do you dress up as every day since you're scary?
What?
Burn. Good burn, Jace.
I dress up as you. I just got an idea on the fly. I think we all tell a story together, but we take turns telling parts of it.
Oh, what is it gonna be?
So I can start, and then Jayci goes, and then Maddie goes. Once upon a time. Is that how you start a scary story?
However you would like. You're the creative owner.
Can I start?
Go ahead.
Starting off. One time there was this delicious puppy.
How do you know how he tasted?
I think we need to be done, you guys.
Sounds good.
One time there's this delicious puppy.
Stop.
We're telling a story.
I need to set my fantasy football lineup before 7, and I only know how to do it from my phone.
Okay,
All
sounds
right,
good.
Hang up. It's
Bye.
fine.
Okay, bye.
She's creepy. Wow, what a good segue into what we're here to talk about today. Lindsay, I hope your team suck.
Her face.
You ruined the whole show. We were getting somewhere with that story. I could tell.
Yeah, that was gonna save the whole thing.
That was gonna be great. A tasty puff.
What a riveting interview from our spectacular expert, Jayci.
Yeah. So now that we have a child's perspective on trick-or-treating, I need to know, as an adult, how do you do trick-or-treating? What do you give out? Like, do you get a lot of trick-or-treaters where you're at in Des Moines?
No, so our neighborhood does not. However, do you want to know something weird about Des Moines?
Yeah.
The kids have to tell a joke to get candy, and like all of the kids have one ready to go, and they trick or treat on October 30th, and they call it Beggars Night. So
are you fucking with me?
No, it's a
Are
Des
you
Moines
fucking
thing.
with me right now? I swear to God, like I'm not in the mood.
No, this is real, and it is nowhere else I've ever heard. But that is
how come you never told me this?
I wasn't even aware until this year because we've always lived in more like urban areas, so we don't really get a ton of trick-or-treaters. So I just learned this year. Isn't that wild? It's so different.
That's wild. So like it actually gives me anxiety to be an adult passing out candy. You got to listen to like bad jokes all night.
Oh, I would love it because like every kid's kind of probably got their own shtick, you know.
You
Your own
would love
one-liner. It'd be awesome.
Actually, Jayci would actually probably really love that. She would flourish in that atmosphere.
Yeah, so that's something I learned this year about Des Moines. But
she's gonna listen to this podcast, and now she's gonna want to trick or treat in Des Moines next year.
I know, but we still buy candy. Like we get like somewhat of like the Halloween assortment of stuff, like just for ourselves to eat because it makes us feel like it's Halloween. So we also put like some graveyards in our front yard because we have like a really, really big front yard, like 10 times the size of our back. And so we make it like a graveyard with some gravestones.
My dad used to do that with like some styrofoam, like gravestones and stuff. My dad used to do that at our childhood house. He was like Mr. Halloween. We should have had him instead of Jayci.
Well, he's the ultimate monster, apparently. So I'm assuming you probably get trick-or-treaters where you live.
I don't, Maddie. So my street
is like the quintessential.
You're okay. So she's assuming that I get trick-or-treaters because I live next to a street in our city that many trick-or-treaters go to. They go all out decorating too, so it's a whole thing. But because I'm so close to it and I live like on a dead end, I get the neighbor kids that are on my street, but everyone just goes straight to South Grandview.
That's the issue of us too, is we're on the end of the street in like the neighborhood that is kind of similar to that. So it's similar. I think a couple blocks away, they're all trick-or-treating, but we're closer to the end.
Yeah. So I don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters and it kind of bums me out actually. I love that.
I do too. So, like I wish that we had them so bad. And especially with the whole joke thing I just learned. Like stop by kids. I don't know
how I feel about that, but
we have candy ready to go just in case. So.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, guys, you're missing out. I have the best candy.
Yeah. I would do the full. If people came to my house, I would go all out.
Yeah. But I get the best candy because I know I'm going to be the one that eats it because no one comes.
Yeah. I want to be like a full-size candy bar house, and I would.
Yeah, I would. Dude, people come to my house and they'd be like, that's the house to go to.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I would decorate and I would dress up and I would. Yeah, but.
Yeah, I do have like, so I mentioned before that I have a solarium on the side of my house, and that's kind of facing the downstream of the street where people would actually walk up because the side's a dead end. And I have these oversized spiders that I put on it. Usually I haven't done it yet.
Get on it.
It's creepy. So when I was younger, I also lived on a dead end type situation like I do now. And all the parents would go up to a house that... What just happened?
I almost spilled the shampoo.
Yours tan?
Bubbled.
Wow, the bubbly. Bubble, toil and trouble.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mistake.
Chug it.
Go on.
So grew up on a dead end situation like I kind of do now, and all the parents
Dead end situation. It sounds like
dead
what
end
you would call a relationship.
My whole fucking life has been a dead end
situation,
including where I've lived. And this year, I really, especially since no one comes anyways, and I have a dog that just barks a lot, I want to have a bonfire out on the side, like my lower drive on the side of my house, and just like chill and pass out candy.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I want to do this year, especially if it stays nice out. I just see no signs of the temperature dropping yet, which is crazy.
Dude, it just happens one day though, and like
it just happens out of nowhere. And I'm ready for it. That's the thing. I'm ready for it. I'm like, oh my God, it's 80 degrees again today. Dude, today I asked Alexa while I was getting ready. I go, what's the temperature today? And she goes, oh, right now it's 49 degrees, which it was the morning. She goes, similarly, it will be 80 degrees by the end of the day. And I was like, that actually has nothing to do with each other. That's actually an additional 31 degrees. So
that's wild. I know it's hard to get dressed because I'm so cold in the morning, yet in the afternoon when I leave for lunch, I'm so hot. So I'm like turning off my heated steering wheel when I get in my car for lunch, turning off my heated seats and turning on AC, and it's crazy.
It makes no sense. I am ready for fall.
Yeah.
And like just not here.
Like the times, like remember dressing up for Halloween and having like a not so covered up costume, it ends up it's like 30 degrees that night, and so you have to like put stuff under it, and it's so funny living in the Midwest, probably the shit that people have to do to wear their costumes.
But I feel like there's never a happy medium. It's always either you're freezing or you're sweating. There's never like oh, this is perfect, you know?
Yes. I always tried to do costumes with coats because I mean once I got older I feel like
we'll get to this, but you've always had very what's the word I'm looking for?
Hot dog, as Jayci would say, hot dog costumes. Like if you were to put me in a box of kinds of costumes, hot dog would be in the box of the kinds.
You were literally spaghetti once, but again, yes, we will get to that. Speaking of costumes though, what do you think the big ones will be this year?
This was really hard because I feel like I don't have my finger on the pulse for this whatsoever. So I just kind of went with with the Beetlejuice resurgence. I was thinking maybe we would see more Beetlejuice.
Absolutely. Yes. I said that as well.
I know someone on the survey wrote Taylor Swift. I think people need to use up their Eras Tours outfits again. So maybe that's a good way to like be Taylor. Maybe throw on a Chiefs jersey.
Yes.
Have your boyfriend.
A couple costume. That's a good one.
And then I've seen some people do I've seen a lot of adults do the Inside Out movie people or things. Are they emotions? I've never seen it.
I'm surprised Jayci didn't bring that up because she saw that movie like 3 times in theaters. She loves it.
So I've seen a lot of like blue people with glasses and like short hair.
Yeah. I had some kind of like messed up ones.
Okay.
So like not okay. So the Menendez brothers.
Ooh.
That's like really hot right now. So I could see people doing that. I saw like Wicked's coming out soon. So I could see people being like Glenda and like whatever. And especially all the Ariana Grande fans.
That's good. Yes. I didn't think of that.
Politicians because Avi, the election.
I mean, that's coming up. I think it's November 5th, so it'll be right before that. So really good timing.
But this one is the one that I'm like, I pray to God it won't happen, but I could see it happening. P. Diddy.
Oh my God. What would you like? What would make that
I don't know. You would just like put Justin Bieber in chains with you or something like fucked up like that. Like, I don't know. I just know some sick individuals are gonna do it.
What did he call his parties? Like the
freak shows. Freak offs. Yeah, freak shows.
like not
freak
funny, but
offs.
like the way
Yeah,
that they said freak off.
there'll be
so
like
many
a
times
group
was like,
costume that's a freak off, and like Beyonce and Jay-Z will be in it.
oh, dude, what's gonna happen with that whole thing? I feel like some names are gonna come
Dude,
out.
it's crazy, and it makes me sick because we like idolized these people, and that's so fucked. Anyways, I hope it doesn't happen, but I won't be surprised if I see it.
No, but here's the thing. Are you doing anything this year where you're going to be seeing people in costume? Because
I don't know, because the only reason, and you'll understand this, the only reason I might is because this is the first year in a really long time that Maggie doesn't have Bray that weekend. So if she were to do something, I would be down. But also, I'm always down to do nothing on Halloween anymore because I feel like it's just, I'm over it, if I'm being honest.
I
But
love staying
it's
at
always
home.
fun when you like those certain people are there. Like if you came back, I would for sure do something too, which we spent a couple Halloweens ago together because you were back for a wedding. We just talked about that. But I think we decided that the bar scene is kind of spent on Halloween. That was like the last time I went out.
We are too old for that shit, to put it
Yes.
plainly. Like, I just went out and like felt anxious about being out. Like, ooh, for some reason my heart was saying, girl, get the hell out of here.
And I know we had that to talk about, and I'm just gonna skip down to it now. Bars always sound like a good idea on Halloween, and then it never hits right anymore.
No, it's like amateur hour, and it's like people going out with groups, and there's couples fighting, and they're getting extra drunk because there's all this hype about it being this holiday. So they're putting Halloween on a pedestal.
Yes,
Don't put
they
Halloween
are.
on a pedestal.
And like, just think about it. How embarrassing is it? Like, first of all, when you're waiting in a line to get into a bar, and then add costumes to it.
Oh yeah, it's like
you're just like waiting in a line and you're a fucking skeleton and you're waiting to get into a bar. Like,
I know there's something so fucking hilarious about it that like
it's so dumb.
That's so funny. That's how I felt last time I went out, and I vowed to never ever do it again. But I would go to like a party or something, and
I was just gonna say, I miss house parties.
Yeah, I do too. Like those are fun.
Like a Halloween house party sounds so fun. There's something about wearing a costume and playing beer pong that just like makes me feel young again.
Yeah, you always used to have one, I feel like.
I had one year in the bar downstairs, and it was fun. But I am just not, I love throwing parties, but I'm not always the greatest host. Like, I'm not the location. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I don't know. Maybe it's just fun. It was fun. And
but
you were Miss Frizzle.
It.
You were Miss Frizzle that year, and I literally found your wine glass by the front door the next day.
Well, Miss Frizzle and Maddie drink wine.
Miss Frizzle left in a hurry. I remember snapping you being like, well, Miss Frizzle must have left in a hurry. Her wine is sitting right here.
That's so funny. I think I had like red hair at the time too. It worked well.
It was a great outfit.
It was like her
costume, sorry.
Planetary outfit. Yeah. But as far as ending on like partying and stuff, I don't know if I'm not fun, but like I just don't ever want to do like a whole face makeup, whole situation ever again. Like I'll do like a little nod, but I don't know. I just feel goofy.
I just feel like that costume was very you. That was one of my favorite costumes you had, actually. And then that same year was my favorite costume, or your favorite costume that I wore. You called it out already. I was the nurse off the Enema of the State Blink-182 album. It was like an anniversary for that, I think 20th anniversary that year. And it was
so good. We'll have to like share a reel of pictures of like the costumes we're talking about, because we always kind of do weird creative ones though. I think we both have that in common.
That was a good one. I would say my second favorite outfit of yours was spaghetti.
That was why did I see? I can't even think back and remember like why did I choose to be spaghetti? And I think it's because I think I had a red sweater or something sitting around, and I thought, what can you make with this? So I had this thick white or cream colored yarn, and then balls all over it, like brown balls. So it was actually kind of fun. But
brown
I think
balls.
I again, like I said, like I don't want to wear makeup and I don't want to have like a quote unquote slutty Halloween costume. I don't want it to be comfortable and warm if we're going out. And so that's what I came up with.
But remember the year I was the lion?
Yeah, that was that year, wasn't it?
Oh no. That was the year you were Guy
Fieri. You guys.
No, we were very different that year, but we were both very not slutty that year because I wore a onesie, a lion onesie, and I had it like the hood pulled up and I had like a nice lion mane and I left my hair sitting out like this. But I actually watched a tutorial and did lion's makeup and it turned out actually very good. And then I show up to Easy Street to meet Maddie there. Holy shit.
I straight up went Guy Fieri. I went Guy Fieri.
But it was so great because she got up for a costume contest and she started just being like, "Welcome to Flavor Town," and like just going on.
Okay, but fun story about that. Like I don't know if you remember this, but I came to when I was standing up on the bar for the costume contest. I came to realized what I was doing. We'll just have to share it.
It's great.
I came to realized what I was doing and I panicked and I think I just got down and left and went home.
You did. I think I have a video of you when you were up there. All of a sudden you were just like, "Cam done." But it was so good.
I really like panicked and I think I left the bar. I think I left, like literally dipped because I was like, "What am I doing? Stop." And then I left.
I love it. On our survey, though, we asked for some costume fails.
They're all actually really new ones. My brother, he wrote that he was a pig-faced Spider-Man.
Which one?
Ryan. Well, I didn't know. But okay, so it's actually a really bad story because there's these family photos we have in
Spider Pig.
I got sent these photos in the mail and I was sharing them with my family on text message. So I took a photo of it, sent it to Ryan and Alex, my brothers. And in the photo, my brother's like he's like 4 or 3 years old. He has his Peter out and he's holding it in this photo. And I'm sending it to everyone. I don't even see the fact that this is on it. And my brother Alex is like, you might want to look at that photo more in depth because like you're like distributing like bad photos. And I was like,
I don't know if I'm laughing harder at the story itself or the fact that you called it my dad's name.
His Peter. I don't know what to
His Peter.
His private area. It was like just out in the photo and I'm sending this to people. It's pretty bad. Yeah. My brother wrote in pig-faced Spider-Man and that's what he was thinking of when he said that and I guarantee it.
He's in Germany. It doesn't matter. They really embrace sexuality over there.
And nudity over there. Yeah, it's a different culture. Yeah. He's lived there for like less than a year. It's
like he was born for it.
Anyways, I don't even think he listens to this because I've never seen anyone from Germany on our analytics show up. So, yes.
We kind of tapped into this, but group costumes, a thing of the past for me, but they were fun while they lasted. They just actually take way too much time and effort nowadays.
Or, okay, like remember back in college when everyone was doing those duct tape dresses and they were dressing up as like hot sauces or the Fanta ladies or
there were iPods even.
Yes.
They were like
iPod colors.
Yeah. Hot sauce packets.
Beers. They were all different beers.
Yes.
But all you had to do was
I never did that. But same. When I did group costumes, I did it right though. I will say my group costumes were pretty good.
Like, give me an example.
Like one year I went to Nashville for Halloween, which if you haven't done that, it's a blast because, the bars in Nashville are very busy, but for Halloween you kind of had to buy tickets ahead of time for specific parties, so it's almost more organized than like normal Nashville. And I went with 3 other girls, so there were 4 of us, and we had 2 parties to go to, so we had 2 costumes. And one year we were American Horror Story Coven, so we had like the white collared shirts tucked into like the black skirts with boots and like, you know, a big black hat.
That was good,
which was
Lexie.
so easy. And then our big night, we were the Purge. So we had like these neon light up masks. We wore these oversized white shirts that we all cut differently and like sprayed blood all over us. Did you and I ever go trick-or-treating together, like in high school or anything?
No, I remember the last time I ever went was with Marie P. And we went in like 7th or 8th grade. I can't remember which one. And we ended the evening and we said, well, that was our last year. And we just
really?
Yeah, like we're like, oh yeah, that's probably our last year. Like we shouldn't have been out there.
I remember going my freshman year. I went in Kelly's neighborhood. But then sophomore year, Marie P came to my neighborhood. So that was not her last year. Yeah, we dressed up as boys. Like it was a last minute thing, I think, because honestly, I dressed up as a boy probably like 4 times total because I had a brother who I could wear his clothes. So people would actually be like, aren't you like a little old for trick-or-treating? Or what are you supposed to be? And I'd be like, I'm a girl, like with my pillowcase in my hand.
That's so funny.
They had no idea. And I always like, this is going to sound really weird. I always thought I was like, would be a really attractive man.
Well, you do say you look like your dad, and you know, I always had a crush on your dad.
I do look like my brother too.
Oh my God. I always find myself dressing as men in my Halloween costumes, like Guy Fieri. Yeah. What else was I? I was a French man, and I had like a curly mustache with a beret.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do I secretly love drag? I don't know.
I mentioned that I hold pillowcases when I trick or treat. Were you a pillowcase girl, or did you have like the pumpkin, or what was your thing?
Yep. So my dad bought us all white pillowcases, and he bought puff paint, and everybody decorated their pillowcase the way that we wanted to, and then we used them probably for like
that's
6,
cute
7 years for so long. And so we always had those, and we got them out every year.
I never thought to like decorate them with the puff paint. That's so cute.
Yeah, I guess my dad came up with it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe I love that.
Also, we had our neighborhood was we lived right off of that like main older neighborhood with like the older houses.
Maddie, like in comparison to me, you only lived like
we lived
up the road from me now.
What?
You only lived like up the road from me, basically where I live now. You weren't far from where I live right now.
No, I grew up right off of Grandview. So Grandview was our domain, and so we lived in like that great neighborhood. So all of our neighbors, we had tons of trick-or-treaters at our houses all the time. It was like right in the middle of like the busy area. Mm-hmm. And so we had like the best neighborhood. Everybody went all out. I have actually a newscast video that I just got shared with it, that I get shared every year with me in it on Facebook. Maybe I'll share that too. Where like it's our whole neighborhood, and like this lady who her Halloween or her birthday was her Halloween, and they did like a haunted house on our street every year, and it was just crazy. We had like the most amazing.
Yeah, I mentioned that in my notes. Is like back in the day, like they could get away with so much more. Like now, parents wouldn't let kids go through a janky haunted house you made in your front yard. But back in the day, nothing excited me more than when I showed up to a house and they had like something to walk through to get to their front door or whatever. And I remember the first year that I went to this place and they just had things to touch, even like you put your hands in the hole and it's like grapes, but they say it's eyeballs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kids will never experience that anymore. And that's so sad. Are there any candies you got as a kid that don't exist anymore?
Are we talking? Okay. I have a couple that I thought of. So hopefully I don't override yours. But okay, there were these horrible molasses flavored taffies that were like wrapped in these like orange wax papery things. I don't know if you remember those.
Yes, I remember those.
Like you would just throw them on the street because they were so bad. Like who bought them?
But now the amount of candy that I didn't like back then that I like now, I wish I could try it again and just see if I would like it. Because I don't know if I ever actually even tried.
Somebody liked it. They're like, this is great.
Yeah. I mean, they survived a decent amount of time. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Okay. I thought of 3 others. So Shock Tarts. Do you remember Shock Tarts?
Do they not exist anymore?
I don't know for sure. I didn't like look this up. I'm just thinking of I've not seen them. But
like you say that and 1, absolutely remember them. 2, didn't realize they were gone until right now. And I think you're right.
I know. I had this epiphany.
Shock Tarts in so long.
And they were, oh my God, I can feel it in my mouth. And then,
so tart, they were shocking.
What about Runts? Do you see them anymore?
Or the banana Runts were my favorite.
Do they only exist in those weird
vending machines? Like, yeah, like, exactly.
Like, when do you see like the package of them?
Damn, but yeah, you used to get the little. No, they're gone.
Those were
right.
Both of those were Halloween candies, and I loved them. And then Butterfinger BBs, which the Simpsons commercial was like a Halloween version of it, which is why I remember that so vividly.
I'm gonna come back to Butterfingers, but the only candy I thought of that doesn't get handed out anymore are those little wax like Coke looking bottle things, and you like bite off the top and drink the liquid.
It's like Nicolic or something like that.
Yeah, something weird. But could you imagine the shit they could inject that with now, and it'd be so dangerous? But back in the day, I'm just like,
no one's injecting.
Were my favorite.
No one's injecting free drugs into Halloween candy. Like people pay for drugs. Like they want the drugs.
You never know. I could see if I was a parent, I would be worried about it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
But back to the Butterfingers, that weirdly enough takes me back to haunted houses when we were younger. Do you remember? Close your eyes.
Okay.
Picture this with me. We're in 8th grade and there's a group of people from junior high wanting to go to the Y Camp haunted house. We caravan there. We're waiting in line on a crisp fall night. And weirdly enough, there's TVs in the line and The Simpsons are playing.
I don't remember that.
Dude, yeah. I do. I remember waiting in line and hearing chainsaws like in the distance.
That was like the first time I like hung out.
I'm pretty sure
a group of people.
Yeah,
like,
I remember
Justin
you there.
Fannin, and it was
Brittany McNabb. We went to Brittany McNabb's afterwards.
Yes, and Justin Fannin kept saying like, "I'm gonna make you touch my wiener" or something. That song was really hot at the time.
Yeah.
I remember that.
He was a funny guy.
Yeah, he was so funny. But he's definitely not listening to this, so I feel fine about saying it.
He is not. But and also he was kidding. But maybe.
Oh yeah,
I'm just kidding.
It was like it was the Eminem song that was hot at the.
Yes, but that's the first time I remember you like coming into like around in the same group that I was in, kind of thing.
I was not. I was not in the group, but I was just there.
You were there. I remembered you, and we went with probably like a good like 10 to 15 people. Like it was a rather large crowd and it was so fun. And those were some of my favorite childhood memories was in around the Halloween season where we would all go to haunted houses together in the Y Camp.
Yeah.
Was the best. Dude, one year Maggie and I went, which again, Maggie was a guest on an episode of Relationships like earlier in the first season. And we've been friends since we were in 4th grade. We went to one and I accidentally yelled her name once. Like, Maggie, come on.
Oh, shoot.
While we were running through it. And then the chainsaw people heard it. And they're like, get Maggie, get the little one. And they had her backed into a corner with their chainsaws. And then all of a sudden she screamed, I'm peeing. And they all you hear all the chainsaw stop, and she gets up and she fucking pissed herself. And then the worst part is her parents still made her go to Los Aztecas to eat afterwards, and we were just sitting there, and she's sitting on a towel at dinner.
Oh my God.
She actually pissed her pants. Maggie, I'm sorry, but I think you're over it by now.
Yeah. It's now just a good story.
Yeah.
I hope you
great.
enjoyed your chips and queso.
I was in Atlanta last week, and I did go to Fright Night at Six Flags.
And we need the follow-up. How was it?
Follow-up is it was great. I'm glad I experienced it. Wasn't as scary as I thought it would be, but they put a lot of thought and like effort into it, so I appreciated that. So how
were the costumes? Were they like top notch?
The costumes were great. We got there at like 5:00, and they said 6:00 was when they kick things off. 7:00 is when, like, if your kids are there, they're there to get scared. They need a chaperone. It's not our fault if they cry, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we missed the entrance, which I was kind of sad about. I did say multiple times, I wish I could bring my niece. Like, I think it'd be so fun to watch a kid go through that, because they did have like little kid things that we didn't participate in, like little trick-or-treating type things.
Got it.
It is a cool experience. So if I went back, I would bring a kid. I feel like we can't have a Halloween episode without mentioning, movies and TV. I know everyone knows what they are, but let's just mention a few of our favorites.
So for TV specials, I have to say Roseanne and Home Improvement have the best Halloween special episodes of all time. And my husband makes sure that we watch a couple of each of the shows each year.
Yeah, you said Kurt loves Roseanne.
And Home Improvement, loves them. Like, I would not sit down and watch that, but sometimes I'll watch like a Halloween episode. But I would be remiss if I would be murdered if I didn't say them for him. So.
Oh yeah, and we love that Kurt is such a loyal listener and supporter, so we have to do
I
that.
don't even know if you don't.
I was gonna say, Pretty Little Liars, they actually changed their like intro for their Halloween episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that? It would like flash to like black and stuff. They always had a few good Halloween episodes. New Girl has a few good Halloween episodes, and I love, like, Jess reminds me of you. Because she takes Halloween seriously. It was like not a sexy.
Just because I take everything too seriously.
She like that one episode where she's dating the doctor and she's like participating in a haunted house and she's a fucking zombie and like Nick accidentally punches her in the face.
I have not seen like any. I've only seen like an episode of that show. I've never really watched it.
Dude, go fuck yourself. But seriously, you would love it. Just watch it. I promise. You need to give it more than you need to watch it through the first season for sure. Because it is a little slow and then it's good.
There's just a lot of shows, Lex. There's just a lot of shows.
I know, but that's like one of my all-time favorites and I rewatch it like every night. It's a good one. Yes. Are You Afraid of the Dark? And Our Real Monsters are my childhood Halloween shows.
Those are good.
Very good ones. And Bob's Burgers always has a good Halloween episode. They're great.
I'll have to pay attention to that. And what I watch every single year is SNL special for Halloween too. There's always a Saturday Night Live special episode that's on, and I love it.
Gwen just mentioned today, which Gwen was in our Work Antics episode. She said that Saturday Night Live did one where they were like making fun of what the Spirit Halloween store essentially names their costumes because they can't come out and say like Tiger King.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, this like masculine tiger man.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Like the joke about Spirit Halloween in general too, like popping up in all of the old Kmarts, all of the old closed down businesses that are now Spirit Halloweens once a year is so funny. And you see the memes everywhere. Like when they closed the oh gosh, the Signature Room at the Hancock Building in Chicago. Like people would put the Spirit Halloween store sign on it just because it's like, well, that's probably going there now, you know?
Yeah, that's hilarious. I love it. As far as movies go, we talked about Beetlejuice in our fall episode, so I have to mention it, but I will not rehash it.
Yep. Hocus Pocus, like that's it's something that I actually usually watch once a year, even though I hate rewatching movies. Like, and I just love Thora Birch in it, and the part where like I thought it was the coolest movie ever, and she's like eating like this chocolate sucker on a stick, and then the Allison girl is like serving punch into like a cup, and I just thought it was like that scene just makes me think it was like so elegant and cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
You're like, this is what the adult pretty girls do for Halloween.
Yes, in high school. Like these are what high schoolers do.
The mature girls. Yes, Halloween Town's huge for me. Yeah. I watch that every year, and especially since having Jayci around, I've introduced her to that, and she loves it.
Any other Disney Channel original movies? I only thought of one more.
Under Wraps.
Yeah.
We mentioned that on the fall epi. That's a good one. Do you remember Teen Witch?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. That was so good.
Dude, such a good movie. I want to find it and watch it this fall.
Dude.
Yes. She wanted to be popular.
And the scary fortune teller in the beginning with her voice.
Fucking so good.
He was like the narrator of ABC Family's Scariest Places on Earth, and she had this very like high voice. Yeah, do you remember that?
So something that really freaked me out when I was little is I loved Mary-Kate and Ashley. So Double Toil and Trouble was huge for me, but Danny DeVito fucking grossed me the fuck out in that one because I was too young to understand like what he was going for.
I don't remember it. I remember the movie, but I don't remember him.
Creepy to me. I hated it. But I loved Mary-Kate and Ashley, so I still love that movie. But it's still, when I watch it, even knowing him now, it just still gives me the heebie-jeebies.
That was an early one. I want to say that's like 92, 93.
Yeah, I loved them. I don't think you understand. Like,
yeah, I do.
I was too old of an age.
Yeah.
I had Mary-Kate and Ashley like Barbies in our family pictures.
Oh yeah. I'm still low-key obsessed.
Same. Come back.
Oh my gosh. We should do a whole episode on them and like their iconic movies.
And we'll solve a crime by dinner time.
Yeah. Stop me now. Billboard Bad.
Stop me now. Do you remember the Halloween tree?
Mm-mm.
Google it.
Right now?
No, anytime. But it's like this nostalgic throwback movie that I forgot about.
I haven't seen it.
And dude, it's so good.
It looks like
I'm not gonna. I feel like our audience is gonna be like 25% that remember it and 75% that don't. So I'm not gonna linger on it.
Looks like it was a Cartoon Network movie.
Such a nostalgic throwback,
and it was from 93. Okay, yes. I'll have to check it out.
So jumping forward in life, the Scream movies and I Know What You Did Last Summer, which had the same director, so of course I love them all. But and they're bringing back I Know What You Did Last Summer as well, so I'm very excited about that. But those are always like Halloween time vibes for me.
And obviously Michael Myers Halloween movies.
Halloween, literally, if we're going literal.
Remember, I mean, it was just on television. And remember back in the day when you would just kind of like see a movie start on TV and you would just watch it? Like, that's how I got to know the Halloween movies. It's just they were on television.
Half of like the house I grew up in, half the basement was unfinished. And I made this like really fucking, like, it wasn't creepy at the time, but now that I look back, it was creepy. I made a room out of my parents' extra shit with this shitty TV in the corner. And me and my friends would go down there and watch Halloween.
And you would just think it was so cool.
Like, I still, when I picture that room, I still hear the like,
Corey always dresses up as like Michael Myers all year round. And I always just think of him, and Kurt loves the Halloween movies too, but that song is like,
yes,
Even like when you're walking down the street during this time of year, you think you're in, is it Plainfield, Illinois? Is that the name of the city? Where does it take place? Is it Plainfield? Oh, it's Haddonfield, Illinois.
So, I never even knew it was in Illinois, so that actually creeps me out more now than it ever did.
So good. And loved the Rob Zombie remake too. And I hate remakes, and I loved this one. So that was good. But yeah, I'm like falling asleep, so I just have to stop talking.
I guess by the time you guys hear this, Halloween will be right around the corner. So I hope you guys have a spooktacular Halloween. And I hope you drink like black liquids and smoky drinks and not poisonous candy, indulging. And I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Oh my God. I hope you get to bob for apples. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you want to keep listening, tune in on Wednesdays for all new episodes on Spotify and Apple.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Wait You're Mad. So thank you. Bye.
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 I got too tipsy.